How long have we waited for this? Feels like forever. But it's finally here, the all-new Bajaj Pulsar NS200. Why now? Why this update? Especially now that Bajaj has just launched the Pulsar N250. Well, Bajaj feel that there is still a very strong cult following for the NS200, not only in India, but more so outside India, especially in Latin America. And when it comes to the update, the big story here is of course the upside down forks, which has also transformed the way this looks. I feel it looks a lot more aggressive, has made the NS look even more of a really butch street fighter. The upside down forks and the lighter wheels have overall reduced the weight by around 2 kgs. Then you also have dual channel ABS now as standard. And on the instrument cluster, you have a little more updates in terms of you have distance to empty as well as the gear indicator. Also on the braking front, while the setup has continued from the old NS200, now you get Grimeca calipers, which we first saw on the N250 and the N160. On the engine front, this is exactly the same. This is still the 200cc 4-valve triple spark fuel injected engine that we have known for a long time. It makes the same amount of power, the same amount of torque. So that's the motorcycle, that's the NS200, and what better place to put all of these changes to test and see what improvements they have brought to a table than here at Sarge. It's on corners like these where you feel the difference that the upside down forks make the most. I mean, I don't think the NS200 has ever been so good with the front end. The front end now feels solid, really planted. It's a lot more rigid, gives you a lot more support, which helps you twofolds. Firstly, in really fast corners like this, the previous NS, you would have to wait for the front to settle before you could commit to a corner, especially after braking. Now you can just commit. And also it gives you flexibility in terms of the lines which you take. You can go on the inside or you can go wide and chuck the bike in and it will stick to the line, which was very impressive. And the lighter wheels have also helped with the agility as well. It feels really quick on its feet, really sure-footed at the same time. In fact, a little too agile because it took me a few laps to get used to understanding how quickly this thing turns. But once I dialed that setting in, it was great, especially hustling it from the left to right corners was a blast. And the other benefit of the lighter wheels is braking. It feels a lot more sturdy, a lot more solid. So much so that I feel that I'm not very fond of the ABS because I think it's a little too intrusive. So I feel the limit of the bike, of the tires is a lot further ahead. But then the ABS kicks in a little too early, which then doesn't allow you to fully exploit this amazing new front end feel that you have with the upside down forks. Engine 2, I mean, I know this has not really been updated in a long time, but it was a real blast to ride here at Sarge, especially exiting out of the really tight corners. You always had enough juice and I love the way it revved. That's the 200. Yeah, it's taken forever for Bajaj to update it, but they have updated it and all of these things make a big difference. And for just a 7,000 rupee premium, I think this is a far better motorcycle. But then, if you think this is too far a stretch for you in terms of budget, then there's good news for you because Bajaj have also launched the all-new NS160 with the same components and which is also a whole lot cheaper. So whatever benefits, whatever improvements we saw on the NS200 thanks to the upgrades, you can feel the same on the NS160 as well because they share the components. So the biggest difference you feel is in the braking department because you can do this. Yeah, the NS160 now brakes so much better, so much stronger, thanks to the bigger 300mm disc, the wider front tire, the lighter wheels, and of course the upside down forks, which give you a lot more support to brake hard, drop the anchor quickly, and to carry more speed into the corners. And then you also have the safety net of the dual channel ABS, which I have to say I did not find to be as intrusive on the NS160 as I did on the 200. But then again, this is a much lighter bike, you're not going as fast, and you're of course not pushing as much on the road as I was on the track. But in terms of the feel and the bite from the Grimeca caliper, it continues to impress as it did on the N160. Now when you compare the two, the N160 and the NS160, the difference mainly lies in the way they both deliver the power. The NS160 is definitely the sporty of the two, with its 4 valves, twin spark technology, so it begs to be revved. It is a lot stronger at the top, makes 17.2 PS compared to the 16 PS on the N160. Even though they make the same 14.6 Newton meters of torque, the N160 has the upper hand there because it's a lot stronger at the bottom end and has a wider torque spread. And more importantly, yeah, it is also a lot more refined compared to the NS160, which does get a little buzzier closer to the rev ceiling. I don't know if you can hear the gear shifts, but there is one thing which stands out on both the motorcycles. The 5-speed transmission is nice, smooth and precise. And now even though this has become about a kg heavier thanks to all the components, it's still 2 kgs lighter compared to the N160, which has a bigger 14-litre fuel tank compared to 12 litres on this. So both of them feel equally agile and quick on their feet when you're riding them in the city. So to summarize, Bajaj is essentially providing you with 2 different running experiences. The NS160 with its sportier performance and componentry is about 5,000 rupees dearer compared to the N160, and now will put you back by 1,34,000 rupees. And to be honest, looking at all these upgrades, I think it's a fair price hike. But personally, if I had to choose between these two, I think I'm still more inclined towards the N160, mainly because of the styling. I think it looks really good, it sounds really good, and more importantly, I love the refinement that engine brings to the table. But that's me. I would love to know what would be your weapon of choice between these two, and of course what you think of the upgraded NS200. Let us know in the comment section below. And of course, thank you so much for watching. Do like, subscribe, and until next time, ciao.